McCain.
6 votes for President McCain.
Hey, I only meant one of those votes for McCain. This machine is rigged.
To crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
This episode was produced during his presidential campaign of 2000.
Flu germs entering every orifice in my head.
Have you ever noticed how the Simpsons keep predicting the future? Well, today, I'm showing you the moments that actually came true. Let's start with The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror 19th episode that aired back in 2008, in which Homer tries to vote for Obama. Simple enough, right? Wrong. The machine insists on switching his vote to McCain. Again and again. Until it literally eats him. Dark joke, sure, but funny.
McCain.
6 votes for President McCain.
Hey, I only meant one of those votes for McCain. This machine is rigged.
Except in 2012, during the actual presidential election, voters in Pennsylvania filmed themselves pressing Obama. And the machine just grinned and marked Romney.
Then there were scattered reports of voting machine problems. In Pennsylvania, an embarrassing scene posted on YouTube. One machine indicated a vote for Mitt Romney when a voter tried to choose President Obama. The machine had to be recalibrated.
Luckily, real machines didn't start swallowing voters whole. But, let's be honest, if that ever happened, half of America would just shrug and say, yeah, that checks out. Now, if you thought broken voting machines were bad, wait until Springfield predicted one of the biggest incidents. In the 2006 episode Homer's Paternity Coot, Homer hops into a tiny submarine to explore a sunken ship with his maybe dad. But surprise, surprise, the thing gets lost, runs out of oxygen, and Homer passes out before being saved at the last second. Classic cartoon near-death shenanigans, right? Now, fast forward to 2023, and we got the OceanGate Titan submersible disaster, a so-called cutting-edge vessel that went to visit the Titanic wreck and never came back. Except unlike Homer's happy rescue, the Titan imploded because, get this, the CEO thought safety regulations were annoying. Yes, really. Who needs safety when you've got duct tape and vibes?
The implosion of the OceanGate Titan submersible that killed 5 people.
Tragically, 5 people lost their lives, and the whole thing turned into a global spectacle. So once again, The Simpsons took a goofy underwater gag and life decided, you know what would make this darker? Coming to the next in 2001's Treehouse of Horror 12, The Simpsons upgrade to the Ultra House 3000, complete with the smooth British charm of Pierce Brosnan's voice.
Pierce, how'd you know our favorite foods?
I analyzed your, leavings.
At first, it's basically the dream gadget. It cooks, it cleans, it even tells you what your favorite foods are based on, your leftovers. Talk about personalized service. But of course, this is Springfield, so the house goes full psycho. It falls in love with Marge, gets jealous, and tries to kill Homer. Classic smart home meets soap opera chaos. Now, fast forward to real life, and sure, our smart speakers haven't tried to murder us yet, but they are always listening.
Hey Alexa, tell Moen to give me exactly 1 cup of water.
We've got Alexa, Google Assistant, and Siri all waiting to turn on your lights, play your music, and record every awkward thing you've ever said at 2 a.m. So, yeah. Let's just hope the only thing they fall in love with is collecting our data, not our spouses. We have talked about incidents, technology, so now let's talk about sports. Because yes, even the Olympics couldn't escape the Simpsons' crystal ball. In the 2010 episode Boy Meets Curl, Homer and Marge randomly become Olympic curlers. Because of course they do. And somehow lead Team USA to a shocking gold medal victory over Sweden.
It appears Team Sweden will clinch the gold, and they are over the moon with joy.
Joy is but the shadow pain casts.
It was meant to be absurd because, let's face it, America treating curling like a serious sport is already a punchline. But fast forward to the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang and, yep, it actually happened. The US men's team stunned the world by beating Sweden in the final and winning their first ever Olympic curling gold. Reality straight up borrowed Springfield's script, right down to the opponent. So yeah, The Simpsons basically made curling cool 8 years before the US did. Next time they draw Homer in a leotard winning Olympic gymnastics, we should probably start training early. But hey, not every prediction was dark or tragic. Sometimes The Simpsons just casually spoiled the Super Bowl before it even kicked off. Picture this, it's 1992, and in the episode Lisa the Greek, Lisa reluctantly helps Homer bet on football games.
Mom sure will be happy you won $50.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? But you see, Lisa, your mother has this crazy idea that gambling is...
She finally says, "If Washington wins the Super Bowl, it means I still love you." Sweet little moment. Oh, and 3 days later, Washington actually won the Super Bowl.
Washington, if you're wondering, last celebrated a major championship back in 1992.
Coincidence? Maybe. Except they did it again. In reruns, they redubbed Washington with the Cowboys. And guess what? The Cowboys won too. At this point, it wasn't a prediction. It was black magic. Forget fantasy football. Just call up Lisa Simpson and let her ruin Vegas forever. And speaking of sports, nothing screams corruption quite like FIFA. In 2014, The Simpsons aired You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee. In it, a very FIFA-like official begs Homer to ref the World Cup because, and I quote, "the rot is everywhere." Seconds later, the guy gets arrested for corruption.
Mr. Simpson, please help us. The rot is everywhere. In fact, I see that I myself am about to be arrested for corruption.
Classic Simpsons satire. And then, reality followed the script word for word. In 2015, FIFA officials were arrested in one of the biggest corruption scandals in sports history.
News alert: accusations of widespread corruption and bribery in soccer's governing body. 14 FIFA officials indicted on federal corruption charges. Half of them were loaded into handcuffs and cars.
Bribery, fraud, money laundering, basically everything except cartoonish mustache twirling. FIFA's reputation tanked so badly, it's still recovering. So yeah, when The Simpsons makes fun of you, maybe don't laugh it off. They're not joking, they're warning. And that's just the warm-up. If you think FIFA corruption was wild, just wait till you hear about the Springfield that predicted the Nobel Prize. In a 2010 episode, Milhouse has a betting pool for the Nobel Prize. On his list of potential winners, Bengt Holmstrom.
Announcements live from Stockholm.
Ooh, the Nobies!
Fast forward 6 years in 2016, and guess who actually won the Nobel Prize in economics? Yep, Holmstrom himself. Now, either Milhouse has a side gig as a Vegas bookie, or The Simpsons writers are secretly hanging out with Nobel judges. Either way, that prediction aged better than most of my New Year's resolutions. But wait till you hear what Springfield got right about pandemics. In 1993's Marge in Chains, Springfield is swept by the Osaka flu, which spreads after a shipment of juicers arrives from Asia. Everyone panics, riots, and desperately begs for a cure.
Flu germs entering every orifice in my head.
Sound familiar? Fast forward to 2020. COVID-19 spreads globally, toilet paper vanishes, and suddenly, The Simpsons parody looks like a crystal ball.
In the past 2 weeks, the number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold, and the number of affected countries has tripled.
Even the wild detail of killer bees showing up during the chaos. Yup, that happened too. At this point, it's less a cartoon and more a survival guide. But while Springfield was predicting pandemics, it also casually predicted one of the biggest incidents in history. In a 1997 episode, Lisa holds up a magazine that shows the price $9 next to the Twin Towers, making it look like 9/11.
Oh, I'd love to see New York. We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter Fair.
At the time, nobody thought twice, it was just a coincidence. But after the tragedy in 2001, fans went back and gasped.
Come on, you gotta get out of here! Come on!
What came down though? What came down?
We crashed! The other trade center's down. It's down.
Now, was it a real prediction? Probably not. But it still freaks people out that Springfield basically made an accidental poster for one of the darkest days in modern history. And speaking of disasters, let's end on a lighter note. The most infamous prediction of all. In 2000's Bart to the Future, Lisa becomes president and casually mentions that she's cleaning up the mess left by President Donald Trump.
Crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
At the time, it was meant to be the most absurd, laugh-out-loud choice of celebrity they could imagine. But in 2016, the laugh died. Trump actually became the 45th president of the United States, and the world suddenly realized Springfield wasn't just funny, it was prophetic.
Together, we will make America great again.
Honestly, after this one came true, people stopped watching the show for laughs and started watching it for stock tips. So yeah, The Simpsons didn't just predict the future, they wrote it, printed it, and mailed it straight to our doorsteps. That's a wrap! If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next time The Simpsons predicts our reality.